Well, stay tuned after Weather Underground. We've got another edition. I was going to say another extreme edition. Well, it is. It's extreme weather, the survivors.
Extreme weather,
yes,
survivors.
It's extremely cool.
Get this, though. A cruise ship magician saves more than 500 passengers. That's amazing. A South Pacific vacationer gets caught in a Category 5 cyclone. And a summer heat wave sets fire to 31 miles of the Costa del Sol. You're going to see that tonight, right after Weather Underground.
Yeah, and then this Thursday on a new episode of Heavy Rescue, the team struggles with a wild load and also being blinded by snow.
Yeah, it's only skill and a lot of luck that get them through this. Check it out.
Can't see a dang thing.
This time on Heavy Rescue 401.
Visibility is really not the greatest right now.
Whiteout squalls.
Snow keeps coming down now. Traffic's backing up.
Attack the 402.
He's invisible. I cannot see that car.
Sending the OPP.
Who is stranded?
On a mission of mercy.
Hold on.
While John Allen wrangles.
Stay on, please.
A wild load.
Heavy Rescue, you're going to see it this Thursday, 8 Central on the Weather Channel.
Makes me nervous every time. Thank goodness I never see things that dramatic on the roads. I'm not built for that kind of drama or rescue.
That is, Nizzle, you lived in that snowy country before.
Oh,
You've seen a thing or two.
Oh, yeah. Huge wreckers out there having to right these semis when they go down. It's really something.
Yeah, you think about all these accidents, but we never think about the people that actually have to get out there and right the wrongs, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we got to get back into our winter weather because we still have winter weather that still could cause problems in terms of, we saw an accident yesterday around Cleveland, but I want to go back in time a little bit to start because we got some pretty big news for the state of Illinois.
This is really something. So this is a state record low temperature here. These are records that go over 100 years back. In Illinois, in Mount Carroll there, back on January 31st, that was that Arctic outbreak everybody experienced in the upper Midwest. They got down to 38 degrees below zero. That was their temperature. It surpassed the previous record for the state of 36 below, set back in 1999.
I'm going to say something here, Tom, that might be a little controversial. See what you can do. People will then argue, where's your global warming? We're setting all-time state record cold temperatures. How can there possibly be global warming?
Well, just because the entire globe is warming doesn't mean you still can't have outbreaks from the Arctic that come all the way down into the mid-latitudes of North America. And that's what we're seeing. With temperatures actually above normal on a global basis, once again, as we went through the winter, we had several of these exceptionally cold outbreaks that came down across North America. Don't forget, the United States is less than, would we say, 2% of the landmass of the Earth? So the rest of the Earth is warming and continues to warm.
All right, let's get into the winter weather now that we've got to watch for the rest of the week because we're not done with snow. We highlighted our first system that's bringing a little bit of snow, but this weekend, the severe maker could also bring some pretty significant winter weather on the northern tier.
Yeah, and I just hate to see this again. To the severe aspect of this, we're going into this situation once again, and it's very, very disconcerting. You're going to have to be prepared for this. On the winter side, we've got another round of heavy snow that's going to be coming in. The setup is right there. There's the low pressure system. In that warm sector, the green and yellow temperatures there, that's where the severe weather is going to be setting up once again. But back to the north and west of the low is where we see the heavy snow. Take a look at this on Friday night. The snow comes across South Dakota. It's going to be a heavier, wetter variety of snow. Good easterly winds here, gusting over 25 miles an hour, going to reduce the visibilities. As we go into Saturday, that comes across Minneapolis. It's going to be a tough day. Silver lining in the cloud once again. It's a weekend, but it'll be heavy snow there for several hours. Saturday night, that moves across Wisconsin, mainly the northern half of the state. Once again, Green Bay, Eau Claire, these areas going to see the heavy snow. And on the backside of the system, as it goes into Ontario, Canada Sunday, some strong winds and much colder temperatures come back down across the upper Midwest here. So, guys, take a look at that snowfall. It's a pretty good swath once again.
Up to a foot of snow and then the winds as well. So going to be very wintry for a very winter savvy this year and always. But this year has been pretty remarkable in this part of the country.
Yeah, they've actually set a record, the snowiest February on record for Minneapolis, going over into many of these areas in the upper Midwest. Now, there's your forecast once again. The silver lining in this cloud, of course, a weekend, but also the fact that those temperatures are up near that freezing mark.
The kids are like, what the heck? Why do we keep getting it on weekends? I want to go to school.
Sorry about that.
Right? You know, the lakes have actually produced a little bit of snow here recently, Tom, too, and it doesn't take a whole lot to cause some problems. You know, we saw the issues yesterday in northeast Ohio, around Hudson, Ohio, outside of Cleveland. So should we expect any more snow off the lakes this weekend?
We are likely going to get some snow off the Great Lakes once again this weekend on the backside of the system. It's going to be in the Sunday time frame here. Very strong winds, by the way, guys, once again, in that Sunday time frame across the Great Lakes. Our ice cover is way up there. We had a really cold December, which set the stage for the ice to build up. And now we're at 74%, well above where we typically are at this time of the year. You take a look at that, the Great Lakes still producing some snow, but boy, I'll tell you what, spring is just around the corner.
A lot of people looking forward to it.
We're hoping.
Really are.
Not the allergies, though.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
And Doug.
Exactly. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Nice. But, what's up with your partner?
Oh, we just spend all day telling everyone how we customize car insurance because no two people are alike, so. Limu gets a little confused when he sees another bird that looks exactly like him. Yeah. He'll figure it out.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ready to treat differently with a pill? Otezla. Show more of you.
Unexpected change of plans? Don't worry. Travelocity is there for you with 24/7 customer service. Now, if your flight runs out of those mini bottles, then you can worry. Travelocity. Wander wisely.
At Safelite Auto Glass, we really pride ourselves on making it easy to get your windshield fixed.
Let's turn in your science papers.
This teacher always puts her students first.
I did mine on both. You did? Oh, I can't wait to read it.
So when she had auto glass damage, she chose Safelite. With Safelite, she could see exactly when we'd be there.
You must be Pascal.
Yes, ma'am. Saving her time. So she can save the science project.
I really didn't expect to learn so many interesting details. Ancestry DNA was able to tell me where my father's family came from in Colombia. They pinpointed the Colombian and Ecuador region, and then there's a whole new Andean region. And that was incredibly exciting because I really didn't know that. We never spoke about that in my family. It just brings it home how deep my roots are, and it connects me to them and to their spirit and to their history.
20 million members have connected to a deeper family story. Order your kit at Ancestry.com.
Never Ending is now even better at Olive Garden. All new Never Ending stuffed pasta starting at $12.99. Pick your favorite stuffed pasta, sauce, and topping. It's all Never Ending. All new Never Ending stuffed pastas, only for a limited time at Olive Garden.
Well, right now on Weather Underground, bracing for the next round of storms.
The concern certainly increasing across the south, where communities devastated by last Sunday's deadly tornado outbreak could see a similar scenario play out this weekend. So we've got the updated forecast for another significant risk of tornadoes.
And that threat is no doubt the last thing victims want to hear. We take you back to Alabama, where survivors continue to pick up the pieces after one of the deadliest tornadoes in state history.
That Lee County, Alabama tornado stayed on the ground for an astounding 70 miles, but it's not even close to being one of the longest track tornadoes on record. We explain why certain twisters stay on the ground for so long.
Plus, this stunning display of lightning last night, a common sight for many, but where it happened, really uncommon. We'll explain why it's more unusual than you think.
And building to survive. A father's decision to construct a safe room saved his family during the 2011 super outbreak. Hear his story and why it's an important lesson for us all. That's next on Weather Underground. And thank you for staying with us here. This is Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We're also joined by winter weather expert Tom Nizzle in the lab to break down our next big winter storm. But first, I want to take you back to the state of Alabama. We're getting brand new pictures coming in from Alabama Governor Kay Ivey. She actually flew over and toured the damage today left behind in Lee County. Yeah, the governor praising the quote, resiliency of Alabamians, and as they begin the long recovery process there, certainly a long way to go for some of these communities that truly lost just about everything. And new tonight, we know that the National Weather Service offices in the Southeast have confirmed 34 tornadoes across 4 states. President Donald Trump has approved a major disaster declaration in Alabama, freeing up federal funding for storm victims in hard-hit Lee County. The president will be in Alabama touring the devastation firsthand this Friday. And stories of survival continue to pour out of the South as communities pick up the pieces after Sunday's devastating tornadoes. Our Dave Malkoff caught up with the family of an Alabama state trooper who were in their mobile home when the tornado struck.
The white picket fences and walls that once made a home were reduced to piles of rubble in seconds by a monster tornado. Cleaning it all up will take a village. As an Alabama State Police Huey circles above, we're reminded that the man who lived here is a state trooper himself. Sergeant Robert Burrows is alive, but still in intensive care.
Thank you so much.
His oldest daughter, Ashley Martin, is here on site in between hospital visits.
It's just crazy. I know a lot of people probably have it worse than we did, but
this
is crazy.
A lot.
Yeah.
This tornado killed nearly 24 people. The sergeant, his wife Sandra, and 9-year-old Ellie Grace were all in the mobile home when it took a direct hit. They're all expected to recover.
She was holding my little sister, and the only thing she could hold on to her because the wind was so strong was her arm. She was just holding her by her arm.
The family, that's mom, dad, and little girl, were huddled together basically right here when the tornado, at an estimated 170 miles an hour, picked up their entire home with them inside and threw it all the way over to the street. That debris, what's left from here to there, is 210 feet, the length of 3 semi-tractor trailers parked end to end.
My dad was pinned under the metal frame of the house against that tree.
Disaster relief volunteers from Samaritan's Purse in the red shirts here came from all over to help. Glenn Stover has been basically driving from disaster to disaster.
In the Carolinas, from Hurricane Florence, down in the Gulf from Panama City from Hurricane Michael, and I was home over the weekend. This tornado come through here.
And he was back on the road again, a 15-hour drive from southern Pennsylvania to eastern Alabama.
I'm very grateful.
Back at the hospital, the tornado keeps playing over and over again in her father's mind.
He still wakes up, Mom says, in the middle of the night saying, where's she at, where's she at, where's she at, is she okay? Just because I guess he just
your
keeps...
little sister.
Just keeps reliving it.
I'm a Marine. So I feel a connection with this man and in the way he serves others, and I'm happy to be here serving him.
In Salem, Alabama, Dave Malkoff, The Weather Channel.
It's a tough go, you know. You got to think about what you go through emotionally and physically to recover, and then, of course, rebuilding a community. Yeah. So there are a lot of different types of recovery that are really just beginning. It's
really an amazing story of survival when you find out how far their home was thrown with them inside of it. As you probably already know, an EF4 tornado, winds were as high as 170 miles per hour. But the other interesting thing that you may not know, this red track here is that tornado. There was another one that came literally right behind it that almost had an identical track, and right there in Lee County, the tornadoes came within a mile of each other.
Hard to believe. You know, when we really take it back and we think about how much space there truly is across parts of this country, that we had two within such a small difference.
Communities literally that close. This one's on the ground for 29 miles and was 3/4 of a mile wide. Here is the main tornado, though, that was on the ground for nearly 70 miles through Alabama and Georgia. 2 hours this thing scoured the earth. Really an amazing tornado.
And so a lot of people look at numbers like that and think, gosh, this must be on the high end. On the high end, but not by any means the longest track tornado. That comes down to our tri-state tornado from Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana back in 1925. That one went a distance of over 170 miles on the ground for hours.
Yeah, but not unheard of to have 100-mile-per-hour track tornadoes or longer. You look back to the most recent one, which was during the super outbreak of 2011. It was all the way through the state of Alabama on the ground for 128 miles. And you might recall when Tuscaloosa was hit by this. This was rated an EF4 tornado and did significant amounts of damage through the state. But there were numerous tornadoes that were long track during that super outbreak. There were 5 tornadoes in all of that single day that had a path length of 60 miles or more. And they were all very significant tornadoes. So obviously, when you hear the stats, when you look at the images, it really drives it home. But again, if you think about this, the average length of a tornado is 3.5 miles and usually on the ground for less than 10 minutes. This one, about 70 miles and 2 hours. But there a look at the top 5 longest track tornadoes in U.S. history. There's the tri-state tornado that went through 3 different states. Then we had 2010, 1992, 2011, 1992 through North Carolina. A concentration in the southeast and then one in the Midwest. But if you notice there, none of those 5 longest track tornadoes happen in traditional Tornado Alley. A lot of them happen in Dixie Alley, which is one place where we get a significant number of tornadoes and we're high at risk because a lot of them happen at nighttime. A lot of them happen a little bit earlier in the season than traditional Tornado Alley. It usually happens March, April, May. Traditional Tornado Alley is April, May, June. And then we have a second season that happens, generally a little bump up there in November. So there are a lot of different risks, especially in Dixie Alley, Alex, that we always have to be aware of. And a lot of tornadoes can happen in the cooler months as well.
Yeah, we want to take a look at Biloxi, Mississippi. Cool day today. Temperatures across the south have been cooler, but warming up as we head closer to the end of the week. And by the weekend, it'll be mild once again. And once again, we have the chance of strong or severe thunderstorms. Let's start on Friday with the risk zone. It's a relatively smaller zone compared to what we'll be looking at on Saturday. This is sections of northeast Texas and into the state of Oklahoma that we've got to watch Friday. Now, by Friday night, we begin to see our storm threat extend a little farther to the east, so parts of Arkansas and Tennessee and also Mississippi and Alabama. But Saturday looks to be the big day for severe weather and possible tornadoes across sections of the mid-south, southeast, and Tennessee Valley. So Saturday will be the day to watch. All the areas that are shaded in this red color are the communities that we're watching for the risk of severe weather on Saturday. Obviously, we're still a few days out, so we're looking, it's Wednesday, we're looking at Saturday. As we get closer, we're going to break down these zones and give you more of a narrow time frame on when you'd be looking at, but at least knowing within this zone, we've got the threat of storms, and right now, Torcon values in the 4 range. That's a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a place in northern Louisiana, northwest Mississippi, much of Arkansas, or far west Tennessee. So take, for example, Memphis, Tennessee. 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of that city. Southern Missouri, communities in this part of Missouri will have a 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. So already with torcons of 3 to 4, that tells us that we're looking at a decent risk of severe storms and tornadoes as we head into the upcoming weekend. Shear and moisture high once again. So we've got that change in wind speed or direction with height and a lot of moisture to work with on Saturday. And that, Mike, is why we're especially concerned once again.
All right, Alex, thank you. Well, here are the stories still on tap on Weather Underground. Getting lit if you build it, and spring sniffles. When we come back, a rare sight over Southern California, a lightning storm. Some lifelong residents saying they've never seen anything like it before. We show you just how extraordinary this is. Then building back stronger after a disaster while planning for climate change. Are we doing enough to reduce our risk in an increasingly volatile atmosphere? And later, spring sniffles. Pollen is hit with a vengeance, especially across the south. That means the sniffles and sneezes for millions. We show you the states that have it the worst right now. And we're asking you in our Twitter poll tonight, would you rather have the sniffles from winter's cold or spring's pollen? Let us know how you deal with both and go in our Twitter poll right now to vote.
TGI Fridays Big Ribs. Bigger, bolder, meatier. Just $12.99 for a full rack and 2 sides. TGI Fridays, where every night the apps are endless.
You know that look? That life of the party look. Walk it off look. One more mile look. Reply all look. Own your look with fewer lines. There's only one Botox cosmetic. It's the only one FDA approved to temporarily make frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better. The effects of Botox cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Do not receive Botox cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow, eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Tell your doctor about your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. So give that just saw a puppy look, and whatever that look is. Look like you with fewer lines. Own your look with the one and only Botox cosmetic.
You still stressed about buying our first house, sweetie?
Yeah, I thought doing some hibachi grilling would help take my mind off it all.
Maybe you could relieve some stress by calling Geico for help with our homeowner's insurance.
Geico helps with homeowners insurance?
They sure do. And they could save us a bundle of money, too.
I'm calling Geico right now. Cell phone. It's ringing.
Get to know Geico and see how much you could save on homeowners and condo insurance.
As the one who's always trapped beneath the duvet, I'm begging you, take Gas X. Your tossing and turning isn't restlessness. It's gas. Gas X relieves pressure, bloating, and discomfort fast, so we can all sleep easier tonight.
I knew this was going to be tough. And Dos Equis is known for its refreshing taste and perfect balance of flavor and refreshment.
It's okay, Daddy.
I'm sorry. I love Dos Equis so much.
Make weddings unforgettable with Dos Equis. Keep it interesante.
This winter, save your Sunday nights for the Weather Channel. Let's go! Hit the road and hang on for dear life. Watch yourself! Whoa! With Highway Through Hell.
It's going to be a good winter.
Sunday nights at 8. Catch an all-new episode of Highway Through Hell, only on the Weather Channel.
Time to go to work.
We do whatever we have to do to keep this highway open.
Whoa, 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 whoa! This is crazy. Heavy Rescue, Sunday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Let's take a look at the scene in Alliance, Nebraska. You're looking at your TV and you're going, what the heck is that? It's Carhenge in Alliance, Nebraska. Cars make Stonehenge meet snow. Pretty cool. You've seen it, right, Bettis?
A couple times.
Oh, look at you.
It's an interesting place. I really like the gift shop.
Oh,
they got some very unique stuff in the gift shop.
I could only imagine.
You can pick up some neat stuff, let's just say.
Yeah, I feel like that place says we've got cool stuff.
That's
stuff you didn't know you needed till you saw it in the gift shop.
Gotta be. That's going to be on my all-American cross-country tour.
There you go. You can get us some souvenirs.
Once you stop off, by the way, Nizzle, and also visit the largest ball of twine.
Oh, yeah.
So there are some really cool things you can see in this country.
Only in America.
Gotta do it. Our next storm system, kind of doing a little bit of a cross-country jog, especially through parts of the northern tier.
Another thing we're going to see, it's off the west coast now. This is our water vapor image where you're going to use our computer model to identify the energy in the atmosphere here and watch how it circles down, slams into California with rain and snow, and then takes its beeline for the Great Lakes again. It's going to develop what we refer to as a Colorado low. These are typical snowstorms that really will impact the upper Midwest and the plains with a combination of snow and oftentimes wind. This one is going to do something like that because it's going to come out of Colorado here as we go into Saturday morning across South Dakota. We're going to see the snow just explode in that area, and there's going to be some pretty strong easterly winds. As we go into the day Saturday, that's when Minneapolis, you're going to be getting the brunt of the heavier snowfall, and that'll continue into Saturday night across a good part of Minnesota. Then it transfers over into the northern half of Wisconsin. But you see how tightly wound this system is? All those isobars around it. It's going to have a lot of wind on the backside of the system, Alex, and even into Sunday after the snow goes through, the Great Lakes are likely going to see some really strong winds here once again. My concern, 8 to 12 inches of snow. This is likely going to be a little wetter variety of snow, a heavier, wetter snowfall. So that could cause some problems. I don't think we're going to see as much in the way of blizzard conditions here, but we can't count it out altogether at this point. And man, Minneapolis, Wausau, the snowiest February on record, so it just continues here. What's happened is these last several storms have taken this track through the upper Midwest, what I refer to as the Colorado lows, and that's what's really been hammering. And they're not done yet. Not only do we have this one in the weekend, we may have another one next week.
Oh boy, said everyone in Minneapolis. Sorry. But hey, there's no savvy. They're used to it, and
that's it.
Yeah, they are.
That's the way it goes.
They really are, you know, and the cold air is one thing that's been in place to get that snow, and that cold air is really pushed south, by the way. Nashville, the last 2 mornings, your temperatures that you've woken up to in the teens. It was 18 degrees this morning. Even into Tampa, the cold front swept through Florida. You know, prior to the cold front coming through, we had record-setting high temperatures. Now it's getting awfully chilly for us, that's for sure. Tomorrow, still some blue on the map here, including through the high plains, portions of the mid-Atlantic, but cold enough, the growing season has begun here where freeze warnings are in effect. That includes all of our southern states here, North Carolina, South Carolina to Louisiana, Mississippi, and then Florida as well. So we're going to watch. There's some areas down here, by the way, we grow our strawberries, so we're hoping that we can escape without too much harm here. But how about the forecast for us tomorrow in a place like Bridgeport? We're going to be at 14, close to record territory here across the Northeast. Providence will be at 10 degrees, so we could be rural areas here with single-digit temperatures. Are you ready for it? I mean, it's going to be downright chilly. And by the way, would you rather have the sniffles from winter's cold that some of you are dealing with right now, or spring's pollen with some of you dealing with that right now? You can go to our Twitter page right now and you can vote. We're going to have the results coming up a little bit later in the show. And also still to come, a stunning display of lightning. Normally, not a big deal. But where this happened last night is more unusual than you think. We explain.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, ask your doctor if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
I had the common type.
Mine was rare.
Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I just found out about my hepatitis C.
I knew for years.
Epclusa is only 1 pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
So I needed legal advice. And I heard that my cousin's wife's sister's husband was a lawyer, so I called him. But he never called me back.
If your cousin's wife's sister's husband isn't a lawyer, call LegalZoom and we'll connect you with an attorney. LegalZoom, where life meets legal.
Dig in to lunch. Dig in to Lean Cuisine. Lean Cuisine with cheddary, cheesy goodness in every warm, bubbling, oh-so-creamy bite of Vermont white cheddar, mac and cheese. Feed your phenomenal with Lean Cuisine.
This winter, save your Sunday nights for the Weather Channel. Let's go! Hit the road and hang on for dear life.
Watch yourself. Whoa!
With Highway Through Hell.
It's going to be a good winter.
Sunday nights at 8. Catch an all-new episode of Highway Through Hell, only on the Weather Channel.
When it's time to sell your home, there's a lot of money on the line. How can you trust your real estate agent will get it right? There's good news. With HomeLight, you can compare actual performance data on thousands of agents near you, so you know who sells quickly, who sells for the best price. We'll match you with the perfect agent for your needs. And best of all, it's free. Sell your home for more money. Go to HomeLight.com today.
Thank you so much.
New purple, eh, Deb?
He's always wanted to try one.
Well, they have a 100-night trial, so...
Everyone wants to sleep better, and can. Purple makes it easy with free shipping and our 100-night trial. And for a limited time, choose a free Purple product with mattress purchase at purple.com/TV.
Look at the water.
Trusted.
I want to get right to it.
Reliable.
This is just beginning.
Accurate. You're watching America's #1 weather network, the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 35 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing, low 26. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, cloudy, high 43. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday night, showers in the evening, then partly cloudy overnight, low 27. Chance of rain, 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Lightning putting on a rare and dazzling show across California last night. Thousands of lightning strikes lighten up the skies over Hollywood, but the real star of the show was in the beaches of Santa Barbara. Look at this, almost 1,500 lightning strikes recorded off the coast of Southern California. And these stunning photos also snapped in Santa Barbara last night. Here during the storm, more than 60 lightning strikes in just 15 minutes. And I'm hearing from one of the producers that we work with, Mike, that he says he lives in Santa Barbara and he goes years without seeing lightning.
Right?
He missed this one.
So you know Josh Morgerman, who is one of the hurricane chasers we talk to frequently. He said he's lived in LA for 27 years and has never seen so much as a flicker of lightning. Last night, I mean, it lit up the skies. I love these composite images.
Really cool.
Showing you there were a lot of lightning, cloud ground lightning strikes in the similar places.
Yeah,
Neat
I mean,
stuff.
it's really incredible. And then Michelle, our producer, he was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, so he missed. He missed Santa Barbara.
He had his opportunity to see it, and he wasn't even home.
He wasn't home.
Man.
You
Bummer.
win some, you lose
Missed
some.
opportunity.
But I would imagine you got to enjoy some fun stuff there at Mardi Gras, right? Let's take a peek at Southern California and all the lightning that was moving on shore late yesterday into the evening hours. That's when we saw the peak of the lightning. But, I mean, it was an incredible light show. Of course, it did come with some very heavy rain, especially around Santa Barbara. But look at all those lightning strikes. I mean, awesome stuff. You got to view it from inside, of course. And when we talk about just how rare it is, look at our annual lightning frequency between 2005 and 2012. Obviously highest across the Gulf Coast into Florida, sections of the plains and Midwest. Higher across the East Coast. We get out there into the West, Mike, and it's like goose eggs. They just don't get lightning.
No, they really don't. You've got to get these big convective thunderstorms usually to get the lightning. Now, I'll take you to Malibu. We certainly are no stranger to the rain this wet season, and plenty more for you today. We got our next round that's come in here with the tail end now of an atmospheric river. Burbank, similar for us here. And we've been so saturated lately that a lot of this water is certainly running off. When we have so much elevation that's in play here, it's always hard to control it. Doing their best here in Canyon Country to try to keep everything dry. But my goodness, it's a monumental effort, isn't it? It really is sometimes. And we've had some rock slides, some brief mudslides in around Malibu as well. So a lot of issues for us ongoing. You can see what's happening for us right now. Decent system here in the west producing the snow at the higher elevations. Excuse me here. At the foothills, we'll end up getting some heavy rain and thunderstorms, and thunderstorm warning continue for us here. That goes until 4:30. A little bit of hail. Might even see some fairly decent winds out of that. I wouldn't even be totally shocked if we get even a little brief spin up that came with one of those. So watch the possibility for even a brief tornado. Mariposa County also under flash flood warning for us here, but you can see lightning embedded with that. Usually that means you're going to get some pretty heavy downpours as well. And there's the snow from the Cascades down through the Sierra. The highest elevations likely to get probably about another 8 inches to a foot, just adding to what they've had. February was a huge month. They're continuing that in March.
Yeah, the snow has been going wild there. We've got a system that Tom's been talking about moving in this weekend for parts of the plains. But before that, we've got a little snowmaker that's going to zip across sections of the northern tier, parts of the plains and the Midwest. Tonight, the areas to watch would be into Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, getting into Iowa and northern Missouri. So a place like North Platte or Rapid City. Rapid City, you're going to see the best chance of snow, most likely while you're sleeping. So late evening and through the overnight by 7 a.m., it wraps up. Temps will be in the teens, so cold. Anything that's out there will be still on the roads when you get up, unless it's been plowed. But your front porch, your driveway, those will be snow covered. Tomorrow, area of snow showers. It's generally very light. This is not going to be a high impact event. For Des Moines, light snow or snow showers beginning during the morning rush and continuing through the afternoon. But again, should not be coming down hard enough to really reduce visibilities. This should be pretty light and manageable for many. By Thursday night and Friday, continues to move eastward. We got a little wintry mix, even some freezing rain through parts of Kentucky and West Virginia on Friday. On the south side, rain and thunderstorms through parts of the southeast. Snowfall totals, again, not huge. We're talking 1 to 3 inches for most. That's the high end. Mike, maybe a few areas in western South Dakota or western Nebraska get more than that, but a pretty low impact event we're expecting.
That's okay. That's right. We can do that. Alex, thank you. Still to come, a weekend severe threat developing in the areas already hit by last weekend's tornadoes could get hit again. We'll show you the timing when we come back.
And Doug.
What do all these people have in common, Limo? Exactly. Nothing. They're completely different people. That's why they need customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual. They'll only pay for what they need. Yes, and they could save a ton. You've done it again, Limu.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
They're America's biopharmaceutical researchers, driven each day to pursue life-changing cures in a country built on fostering innovation. Here they find breakthroughs, like a way to fight cancer by arming a patient's own T-cells, and a new therapy that gives the blind a working gene so they can see again. Because it's not just about the next breakthrough, it's all the ones after that.
AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence, covering virtually every part of your healthcare business, so that if she has a heart problem and the staff needs to know, they will. And they'll drop everything.
Can you take a look at her vitals?
And share the data with other specialists.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now.
And they'll drop everything. Okay. And take care of this baby.
Yeah, that procedure seems right.
And that one too. AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence. It can do so much for your business, the list goes on and on. That's the power of and. And when your patient's tests come back, you can immediately discuss.
Get in for lunch now at Olive Garden with lunch duos starting at $6.99. Choose a favorite like lasagna or all new pasta bowls like shrimp scampi, paired with unlimited soup or salad and breadsticks. Get never-ending value for lunch at Olive Garden.
I'm tasting olives, roasted pine nuts, this red pepper.
That's spicy stuff.
Fresh flavor, feel-good food. Sabra hummus.
I just had Sabra hummus and now I feel good.
This is your wake-up call. If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, month after month, the clock is ticking on irreversible joint damage. Ongoing pain and stiffness are signs of joint erosion. Humira can help stop the clock. Prescribed for 15 years, Humira targets and blocks the source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Help stop the clock on further irreversible joint damage. Talk to your rheumatologist. Right here, right now. Humira.
This winter, save your Sunday nights for the Weather Channel. Let's go! Hit the road and hang on for dear life.
Watch yourself. Whoa!
With Highway Through Hell.
It's going to be a good winter.
Sunday nights at 8. Catch an all-new episode of Highway Through Hell, only on the Weather Channel.
A magical scene in Oregon. If you like winter wonderlands, Horsetail Falls, just about frozen, and then falls right in the middle. I love this. This is like an icicle paradise.
That is really spectacular. What a sight to see up in person, right? Temperatures around freezing, maybe at the falls, you know, where they're moving there, a little bit warmer, but that's it's like a Disney movie.
Yeah, that's pretty.
If you will, right?
Where's Olaf? Yeah, I know the characters. I've just never seen the movie.
Looking for his pieces, parts. He was always missing them. You haven't seen the movie?
No, I know.
We need like a team building.
We do.
Popcorn
All right.
and movie. And,
all right.
Yeah.
I'll be in for that.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back into Weather Underground. Why don't you come too? I'm Alex Wilson.
I'm Mike Bettis. Everyone's invited,
yeah,
right? Hey, we've got our winter weather expert, Tom Nizzle. I guarantee you will love Frozen. Have you seen Frozen, Tom? Yes. He has. Okay.
Oh, he has too.
Duh. That was like a no-brainer.
I know.
He's like, mm-hmm. He's got it on. He's
Duh.
He's got it on his
I know the
DVR.
words.
He just like goes home and watches it. All right, folks. Other story that we're following for you tonight, of course, is the devastating tornado that happened over the weekend in Alabama. Nearly 3 dozen tornadoes have now been confirmed, but you take a look at Beauregard, Alabama, from the air here, widespread storm damage across much of the South, but certainly in Alabama, trees splintered, just truly like toothpicks here, buildings obliterated. Just tough to see all around for sure. But the weather has been nice since for recovery efforts, if there's any silver lining here whatsoever. But take a look at some of the updated stats here. Nearly a mile wide at one point, tracked for about 70 miles on the ground here, caused EF3 damage over in Georgia with EF4 damage in Alabama. 23 fatalities right now. Deadliest tornado in the United States since 2013, and the 8th deadliest in the state of Alabama since records have been kept. Here's a look at where everything started in eastern Alabama. Touchdown here near Rogers Road in US 80. Moved then with its max intensity along Road 36 and 39 with 170-mile-per-hour winds. Moving past Smith Station over the Chattahoochee River into Georgia. And in Georgia was on the ground here for 43 miles. EF3 damage was found here by the National Weather Service office. So a total track here of 69 miles and an amazing 2 hours on the ground. This is why we had such destruction, and maybe in some regards relatively lucky that we're in relatively rural areas. Had this gone through a populated area, the story could be completely different. Not that it isn't tragic, but my goodness. Now you take a look at some of the before and afters. Look at those homes. Look where they were and look where they ended up. Isn't that really amazing? And even this frame-built home, the one thing you've got to consider is it was literally sitting on cinder blocks as its foundation. It was not attached to the ground, and so it was easily picked up by those 170-mile-per-hour winds and tossed. So really tough to see. I'm going to show you one more home here. Here's a well-built wood frame home with a brick siding on it, and it too was no match for an EF4 tornado. But the woman that was inside this home, Alex, she survived, believe it or not. So
lots of amazing stories.
You know where to go in your home, you can survive.
Right, and we want you to start thinking about that now across the South because we've got the severe threat returning for the weekend, but also we're getting into that time of year where we're going to see more and more severe weather. Today, you're not thinking that in Oxford, Mississippi, home of the University of Mississippi. 39 degrees right now. It's been chilly across the South, but temperatures warming up steadily as we finish off the week and head into the weekend. And with that warm-up comes the return of severe storms. Friday, our severe risk limited to parts of northeast Texas and into the state of Oklahoma, so a fairly small zone. On Friday night, now thunderstorms move a little farther to the east. Saturday, though, this is going to be the big day, the main event, so to speak, when we talk about severe risk in terms of hail, damaging winds, and once again, we could be looking at tornadoes. So this entire zone, areas I want you to be thinking about the weekend. What do you have planned? Where would you go if a severe storm warning came in or a tornado warning came in? Where's your safe spot? Start talking to your family now. Torcon's already in the 4 range for parts of northern Louisiana, northwest Mississippi, much of Arkansas, and far west Tennessee. So say your community falls in one of those geographical locations, you've got a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. If you live in southern Missouri, say your hometown is right there, you've got a 3 out of 10 chance of a tornado within 50 miles of that town. So something to think about. And obviously, as we get closer and closer to Saturday, we're going to narrow in on our zones during the day. So we'll be able to give you a better sense of what time of day those storms will be rolling through. Shear and moisture once again on the high side. And by Saturday night, now we'll watch those storms continuing to move eastward into places like Charlotte or Atlanta. By Sunday, scattered thunderstorms possible across the Carolinas with a little better risk of storms in parts of Florida and central and southern Georgia. So Sunday, our severe zone, southern parts of the southeast states, so near the Gulf Coast and into sections of coastal Carolinas. Guys?
Well, we know that March can be one of those months where you're dealing with severe weather, springtime weather. You're still dealing with winter weather as well. So, Tom, you know that we've got now multiple rounds of snow that are coming our way.
Yeah, it's a very busy month weather-wise across the United States. And we've got a system that is off the west coast of the U.S. That's going to be responsible going into the weekend for the severe side. On the winter side, we'll have enough cold air in place to actually produce some significant snow. There is the feature, Mike. It's well off the west coast now. It slams into California with the rain and snow. And when it comes out across the plains again, look at the jet energy in here. Okay, that's going to help fuel the severe side. To the north of that, there's enough cold air in place where that moisture will be lifted and it will turn into snowfall. So let's pick it up as we go into Friday night, Saturday morning. Here is that flow coming out of the Gulf of Mexico into the cold air. Across South Dakota, you're really going to light up with snowfall. It's going to come down for several hours. Winds probably aren't going to get to blizzard criteria. Nevertheless, they'll likely be gusting over 30, 35 miles an hour.
We could get some drifting snow here, do you think? Or
it's possible. I think this is a little warmer system, so the snow's going to be a heavier, wetter nature.
Stick quite a bit then.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see as much of that, but still, significant event here. Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, that's a time frame for Minneapolis. Again, it's occurring on a weekend. That's the silver lining in the cloud here. But this system is really pretty tightly wound up. And as it goes north here into Sunday morning, you're getting colder air now coming across Minneapolis, coming across northern Wisconsin. In those areas, Mike, even after the snow stops and this system is up into Canada, there's some strong northwest winds coming around. Going to be a windy latter part of the day on Sunday across the Great Lakes.
All right, so we look at how much could come down. It's a pretty solid snow, Tom.
It really is. I mean, we're looking at 8 to 12 inches across this area in here. Now, this could shift a little bit. We're still a little out in time here on this, but nevertheless, a very broad swath of snow across the area. And that combined with the winds is going to make for a rough day. And by the way, it's been a rough last several weeks here. Snowiest February on record for these areas. And again, from Minneapolis south down through Des Moines in these areas here, that's what we're concerned about for this next storm.
And it's been so chilly here, Tom, that the snow has not melted. We've got some significant snowpack on the ground here, too.
Going into March, right?
It's wait till it all melts, and it's mud season, as they call it here,
and
right?
Potential flood season as well.
For sure. Tom, thank you. Alex?
All right, another night of cold air across the southeast. Places like Atlanta under a freeze warning again tonight. So you got to bring in or cover your sensitive plants. Keep that in mind. 43 right now. It's been brisk. I broke out the flannel jammies again last night.
Last night was cool. That is for sure.
And a lot of you have been like, wait a second, I thought we were moving forward, and now we just took a giant step back in terms of where we were headed. But this is the last of the really cold overnights.
I think hopefully for most folks, the trend will be upwards from here on out.
I think so.
Yeah,
but then we get to those like really steamy overnights, and I would always prefer the cold.
There's no happy medium anymore. But quite a few people still experiencing tomorrow some really cool temperatures.
Yeah, we're going to remain 15, 20, 25 degrees below average across the northern tier of the country, of course, where we've got our first shot of snow, and then kind of setting the stage for our next round coming later this week.
Yeah, and that has really, the upper Midwest there has really been exceptionally cold, but now we're concerned about the southeast. You're starting to get toward the growing season here, and you see the freeze warnings in effect.
Yeah.
We were concerned. 2 years ago, we had the massive losses in crops in Georgia in particular. The blueberry crop was devastated. They're the second biggest blueberry producer in the country. And we you know, earlier in the week we talked to one of the blueberry farmers. He said they're now starting to get some growth.
Right. So they were obviously concerned about this last week, knowing that the cold was coming.
And that comes into concern again this week as well. We're going to have to watch this carefully.
By the way, the tree pollen starting to get
I
off
feel
the
it.
charts ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you at home are, right?
Yeah, and we asked you today in our poll question, would you rather have the sniffles from winter's cold, or would you rather have the sniffles from spring's pollen? I'm curious about this one. Here's what you voted. Oh, are we not sharing it yet?
Oh.
Can we?
Well, that is a tease.
Oh, that's
we
a
are.
tease.
That's it.
Oh, closer than I thought it would be. So a lot of people voting for spring's pollen, but many saying, you know what? No, I'd rather it just be cold.
Nothing to sneeze at.
No,
Irene says, I'd rather deal with spring's pollen. Winter's cold is hard on my joints. At least I can move easier in the spring.
That is true. Baby doll, Christine says, I meant to click winter's cold. I guess she voted for spring, so she says, take mine away.
And this one from Mo, at least they have nature to enjoy with the sniffles and get outside. Winter is so drab.
But I said, like, it's not just a runny nose. It's like scratching your eyes out and the headaches and the, all of it.
Torture. It's cough.
Yeah.
If you live with diabetes, why fingerstick when you can scan? With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, just scan the sensor with your reader or iPhone and manage your diabetes. With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, a continuous glucose monitor, you can check your glucose levels anytime without fingersticks. Ask your doctor to write a prescription for the new Freestyle Libre 14-day system. You can do it without fingersticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Fact is, there are over 9,600 roads named Park in the U.S. It's America's most popular street name, no matter what park you live on. One of 10,000 local Allstate agents knows yours. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Sometimes, bipolar 1 disorder makes you feel like you can do it all. But mania, such as unusual changes in your mood, activity, or energy levels, can leave you on shaky ground. Help take control by asking your healthcare provider about Vraylar. Vraylar treats acute mania of bipolar 1 disorder. Vraylar significantly reduces overall manic symptoms and was proven in adults with mixed episodes who have both mania and depression. Vraylar should not be used in elderly patients with dementia due to increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. High cholesterol, weight gain, high blood sugar, and decreased white blood cells, both of which can be serious or fatal, dizziness upon standing, falls, seizures, impaired judgment, heat sensitivity, and trouble swallowing may occur. Ask if Vraylar can help you get on track.
Ooh. Living with ammonia odor? Not a pretty picture. Tidy Cat's lightweight with ammonia blocker tackles tough odor. Now 100% dust-free.
So long, stink face. Bye-bye, dust.
There's a Tidy Cat's for that.
To look at me now, you don't see psoriasis. You see clear skin.
You see me.
But if you saw me before Cosentix,
I was covered. It was awful.
but I didn't give up. I kept fighting.
I got clear skin with Cosentix.
3 years and counting. Clear skin can last.
See if Cosentix could make a difference for you. Cosentix is proven to help people with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis find clear skin that can last. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting Cosentix, you should be checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you've received a vaccine or plan to. If you have inflammatory bowel disease, tell your doctor if symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
See me now. I'm still clear.
How sexy are these elbows?
Get clear skin that can last. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentix.
What's better than our golden fried Alaskan whitefish? Our new golden fried thick cut Alaskan whitefish. For a limited time, get a 2-piece basket or a sandwich combo for only $5.99. Because thicker is better at Long John Silver's.
Last hour we talked about building hurricane-proof homes. Among the debris from Hurricane Michael was, well, this home standing in Mexico Beach. The homeowner spent extra money on upgrades, which ended up actually saving the home. But can the same be done to prevent homes from being destroyed by, well, maybe something like a tornado? In April of 2011, we saw one of the largest and costliest tornado outbreaks ever recorded. 348 people lost their lives that day and nearly 100 homes destroyed.
Kevin Harrison and his family survived by riding out the storm in a safe room. When they stepped outside, everything else was gone. Kevin Harrison joins us now via Skype. We brought back Leslie Chapman Henderson with Flash. Kevin, let's start with what prompted you to build that safe room? What was the spark that got you to want to put that in?
Well, thank you for having me. I moved here from Tennessee, and when I first moved down, we noticed a lot of the older style cellar-type structures people had in their yards, and just how active the storms were down here. And so that got me thinking about it. So that caused my father and I to debate building a storm room for my home for safety.
Leslie, for those who want to follow Kevin's example and get a safe room, what are we talking? What are the costs? And is it building or rebuilding?
Well, the safe rooms are typically built on site, and of course, so they are more affordable if you do it part of a new build. But there's a lot of options too now for what are also called shelters that you can, as long as they're tested and approved, you can put in the garage. They can be installed. In fact, I think Kevin's replacement shelter was installed in the garage, and they're bolted down to the floor. So there's all kinds of options before or after the home is built, even things like panels made out of bulletproof material. So we've got concrete, you can do wood frame covered in steel, sheathed with it, insulated concrete forms, all different types of options out there now for safe rooms and shelters. Just need to make sure they're built to comply with either the FEMA guidance or the testing standards established by the National Storm Shelter Association.
All right, Kevin, so you've done this. There might be folks watching right now that are considering or maybe a little nervous about what their home is capable of holding here. But can you tell them, what's it like? What kind of peace of mind do you get as a result? How much did it cost? What was it like when you were riding out? Give us all those details.
Yeah, it was terrifying right now, but like I said, we did have the peace of mind. And I actually came home early from work that day just to be with the family because it was so stormy, or predicted of storms. And we all gathered out there at the storm room, and they saw on the weather that it was coming. And we could see on the radar because we lived close to a radar tower that it was coming to. And so we all rushed in, closed the door, and locked it. And it wasn't about 30 seconds later that the storm hit, and everyone talks about the loud roar it has, and it was it was only there about 30 seconds, but it was very terrifying. But we were in the room, and we made it out alive, luckily. And I encourage anyone to do the same thing. Like I said, they're easy to install now, and it can give you that peace of mind that you might lose your property, but you'll protect your family and keep your life.
Yeah, and looking at these pictures, I got to imagine whatever you paid, you would probably pay it 100 times more, knowing that everything around your house was destroyed, but you guys walked away safe.
Right. That one there was actually built by my father and I, so it really didn't cost me much, and it was built in an external garage. My father did block work that we built it into, so that one didn't have much cost to me. Truth be told, it wasn't probably built to perfect FEMA standards. I encourage people to build them to proper standards now, or to buy ones that are built to standard. The one I currently have now is a steel one in my new home. That's replacement that bolts down, but they can be installed quickly in the same day by companies, and they're quite affordable when you think about the value that they're protecting. Compared to an extra vacation or what have you, either, a few $1,000s can protect your family from a loss, because we would have been a total loss that day. We probably would not survived that direct hit, any of us, if we hadn't had the storm room.
And Leslie, we only have about 30 seconds left, but I wanted you to comment briefly on safe rooms and sheltering in public buildings. And we saw a lot of people lose their lives in mobile homes. So we want to follow up with you on that. We're running out of time, but that's another part of it, Leslie, that we saw play out this week.
FEMA 361 for community shelters, and in the new International Building Code at 2018 version for critical facilities, they are required. So we just want to keep those requirements in the codes.
Excellent.
Absolutely, because unfortunately, many of these people don't have the access to it, or just don't have something nearby.
For sure. And a big thank you to Kevin and for Leslie for joining us this evening. Weather Underground will be right back.
Yeah, had a pretty big fender bender here.
State Farm's got you covered, Mike.
That's great to hear. Robin? Everybody remain calm.
Nothing outlasts Energizer Ultimate Lithium. Hey, you can't do that. Can he do that?
Yeah, he's good.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. It's the #1 longest lasting battery.
Everything you need to know about your hometown in your hand. That's Local Now. I'm Sasha Rionda, and Local Now is a free app that gives you local weather, sports, traffic reports, and lifestyle news, everything that's happening each day in your area. There's a concert coming up? Local Now has the details. We all want to avoid the traffic jam. Local Now is your guide to work every morning. It's free, it's local, and it's yours. Get the Local Now app today.
Currently in our area, 34 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Low 26. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, cloudy, high 43. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday night, showers in the evening, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 27. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
You guys hungry?
I'm tasting olives, roasted pine nuts, this red pepper.
That's spicy stuff.
Fresh flavor, feel-good food. Sabra hummus.
I just had Sabra hummus and now I feel good.
Want to stay a little bit longer? Travelocity is there for you. Not right in the room, that'd be awkward. But you know, online, on the phone, when you realize you want to extend your stay. Travelocity. Wander wisely.
January 21st is Squirrel Appreciation Day, an entire day dedicated to squirrels. That's nuts. At AARP, we think you deserve your own day. Yeah, you. After all, you're the one working and saving for the future. So let AARP help, from planning and budgeting to getting a deal on your next trip. AARP is here to help you stretch your dollar further. Our furry friends will have their day, but today is all yours. Take on today and every day with AARP.
We tried 2 different real estate agents who both promised great results, but after almost a year on the market, we still hadn't sold our house. Then we found HomeLight, which promised to get us in touch with the top agents in our area. We went with the agent they recommended, and it worked. HomeLight's agent sold our house when the others couldn't.
HomeLight compares data on millions of agents, so you know you're getting the best agent for your needs.
Oh yeah, we recommend HomeLight.
Get started for free today at homelight.com.
At touchofmodern.com, things you'd never think possible are totally attainable. The shoes are handmade, the furniture glows, the drones fly themselves. And that's just the beginning. Our relentless pursuit of the highest quality in watches, fashion, tech, and home are available all in one place. touchofmodern.com. We bring something new and unexpected to your life every day. So go to touchofmodern.com and be the first to discover all the novel and noteworthy items the world has to offer.
Time to go to work.
We do whatever we have to do to keep this highway open.
This is crazy. Heavy Rescue, Sunday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Tonight after this show, catch another edition of Extreme Weather: The Survivors. Tonight, stories about a cruise ship magician who saves more than 500 passengers, a South Pacific vacationer gets caught in a Category 5 cyclone, and a summer heat wave that sets fire to 31 miles of the Costa del Sol. It all begins at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, right after Weather Underground. And that is a trio of stories I need to know a little bit more about.
The magician thing is interesting to me.
Magician thing really got my attention.
That's some magic.
Hey, snowy conditions threaten the safety of a young driver in this week's all-new episode of Heavy Rescue.
And he's got to work fast. Here's a preview.
Visibility is like dropping by the minute. Cars are going into the ditches right now. Oh, wow, he went in pretty good. So right now, I'm just trying to dig this car out so I can find something to hook onto. She's buried pretty good, so I don't want to wreck anything underneath. Oh, okay, that's deep. This is really hard-packed snow. This car is just wedged in there. We can't even stop the traffic. They don't care enough to slow down for us. Oh, that is nasty on the face. Right now, I'm just trying to get something underneath this thing to, oh, there we go, to hook it. Okay, let's see if this thing will come out for us. Oh, come on. The cable's binding up. This is a horrible time for stuff to break on me. It's getting really nasty, and the longer that I'm standing, the more chances of me getting hit.
An all-new Heavy Rescue airs Thursday at 9/8 Central.
Hey, Tom, this is our winter weather expert is with us right now. Hopefully we don't find anyone in that situation with our next couple of rounds of snow. But we know this, Tom, this winter, as mild as it's been in so many places, has also been record-breaking cold.
When it's gotten cold, it's gotten really cold. The upper Midwest suffered through that tremendous Arctic outbreak back at the end of January. And now National Weather Service officials have verified this. This is big news. This is a new Illinois record, state record for low temperature. 38 degrees below zero. That occurred back on January 31st. It breaks the old record of 36 below that was back in 1999. Mount Carroll, Illinois, that's the location. They're located in the northwest corner of Illinois. And I took a look at it. Their site is actually a little bit of a depression that allows the cold air to kind of pool there. It also was clear skies, calm winds, fresh snow cover, and fresh Arctic air that came down from northern Canada. Perfect combination here, and it results in a state record, guys.
Yeah, truly just what the doctor ordered when it comes to getting cold air. All the factors were right.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some cold air now in place. We're going to get a couple different rounds of snow.
Yeah, this is going to be another Colorado low that moves very rapidly out of the Rockies and cuts its path up through the Great Lakes. As it does so to the north and west of the low, here's Friday night. This is going to be South Dakota, Rapid City in particular. Those areas are going to get hit pretty hard with the snowfall. Now, during the day on Saturday into Saturday evening, that's where high population areas like Minneapolis are going to come into play. It's going to be a heavier, wetter type of snow that comes down with this event compared to that blizzard that you just had there in parts of southeast Minnesota a week and a half ago or so. It's going to continue for about a 12 to 14-hour period here, going through Saturday night into Sunday morning. Sunday morning across northern Wisconsin in particular. And then during the day on Sunday, even after the system moves out of the area, very strong winds coming around to the back of the system. We've just got a new update here on a computer model, so we don't have the snowfall. And the numbers are there, but the footprint isn't. Let me tell you that from Rapid City through Minneapolis is where we could see double-digit snows here. So it's going to be an interesting setup. And by the way, right on its heels, in the beginning of next week, this pattern is going to continue across the U.S. We get another low that lifts out of the southwest and moves to the northeast toward the Great Lakes. As a result of that, we're going to have a replay yet again of Gulf moisture being brought back into that cold air across parts of the northern plains and the upper Midwest. So, you know, we've talked about this a number of times this winter. The atmosphere gets locked into a pattern, and we can get a rinse and repeat of this. My big concern, weekend in particular, is the repeat of the severe weather outbreak that we had last weekend. So we're going to have to watch that carefully.
This time of year, they go hand in hand, it seems like.
And we also had some lake effect snow yesterday causing big problems in Hudson, Ohio. This around the Cleveland area. 60-car pileup yesterday. Tom, you get enough open lake out there. You get the heavy snow that doesn't have to be open, but you get that burst that reduces visibility so quickly.
It didn't take much there. The visibilities dropped down, and you're right. Once those visibilities drop and you're doing highway speed 65 miles an hour, there's no way you're going to be able to stop. And if there's cars stopped ahead of you with a 200-foot visibility, you are not going to be able to brake in time, and that's what causes these kind of accidents. There you go again. As you can see here, roads probably slicking up a bit, but you can see that the temperatures are probably mild enough that I'm guessing it was visibility that was the cause of these accidents here. And if we take a look here, interesting to see here, we had a really cold December. That set the stage for ice cover on the Great Lakes, and now we're sitting at 74% of the entire Great Lakes system covered with ice now. That's way above what we normally see at this time of the year. It's not a record. 2 years ago, we had even higher ice cover on the lakes. But if you take a look at the lakes here, we're going to look at the individual lakes. On Lake Superior, about 90% ice cover now. You can see the clouds moving across the ice cover, those whiter areas on the lakes. Down in Lake Erie, almost completely ice covered here as well, but a few breaks on the western end of the lake and a little snow coming off of Lake Michigan helped produce those conditions in Cleveland. And then finally, out to the east, Lake Ontario is wide open, only about 17% ice cover. It's a very deep lake, never developed significant ice cover, and as a result of that, this is earlier this afternoon, some pretty hefty lake effect snow coming off of there in March.
All right, Tom, thank you. And for all of us here at Weather Underground, thank you for watching.
Have a great night. Remember, together we know more. We'll see you tomorrow.
People love to travel. Flying around the world